Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Uh, in this class I will discuss about quasi-static process and PDB work for various quasi-static process in thermodynamics. Piston displacement work, that is PDB work, I will discuss. First we must discuss what is a quasi-static process. Before going into details, I must say one thing to all of you. Please do subscribe to this channel. Of course, like it and share it to your friends. So first we will discuss what is a quasi-static process. Quasi-static or quasi-equilibrium process. Quasi-static or quasi-equilibrium process. You know, in nature there are two kinds of processes that occur. Some are natural processes and some others are ideal processes. All the natural processes that occur in nature are irreversible in nature, and the ideal processes are quasi-static or reversible process. Reversible processes are in fact very slow processes which do not occur in nature. It is only an ideal consideration only, and the characteristic feature of all the reversible process is that it is very slow. It is infinitely slow. If you go by the literal meaning of quasi-static, quasi means almost, then static means which is not moving, the process is not dynamic, that is stagnant. That means the process occurs in a very static manner. In fact, then thermodynamics, we know that is a study of energy interactions. So we cannot afford to study only static processes, but it is not static, it is almost static, nearly static. So because it is a very slow process, that's why it is called quasi-static process. It is almost static, and infinite slowness is the feature of this quasi-static process. So what is a quasi-static process? I will explain. Suppose we are walking at our own pace. Suppose a old man which cannot walk so fast, so he just moves very slowly. That can be an example of a quasi-static process. And in thermodynamics, if you go to find out an example of a quasi-static or reversible process, this can be like this. Suppose there is a piston cylinder arrangement. Suppose this is boundary, here is gas is there, this is your piston, and this is the cylinder. This is the inner surface of the piston which can move due to gas pressure. Suppose certain gas is inside it with a pressure of P1. V1 is the specific volume at certain state. Suppose this is the system and it is at a state at which the pressure is P1 and specific volume is V1. And and there is a stop. Suppose there is a stop and certain weight W is placed on the piston. So that means it is a state of equilibrium, means the piston, if you draw the free body diagram, when a body is in equilibrium under action of certain forces, that means the net force acting on the body is zero. That means the sum of forces acting in the downward direction is equal to sum of the forces acting in the upward direction. So that means here what are the forces, we will find out what are the forces that are acting in the downward direction as far as the piston is concerned. There is a weight W acting on the piston, and the weight of the piston is also considered, suppose WP. This is the downward force, and then atmospheric pressure. Pressure multiplied by area yields force. So when the atmospheric pressure is acting on the piston, if you multiply the cross sectional area of the piston with the atmospheric pressure, you will find out some force acting in the downward direction. All three forces are acting in the downward direction. That force due to atmospheric pressure, then the weight, that is the weight is placed on the piston, and the weight of the piston itself also. These are three forces that are acting in the downward direction, and the force, that is the only force that is acting in the upward direction, is the force due to gas pressure. And at this instant, that pressure is P1 multiplied by A, where P1 is the gas pressure at certain state, that is P1, and A is the cross sectional area, that is inner surface area of the piston, this area, cross sectional area of the piston. So this is an equilibrium, means net upward force is equal to net downward force. Suppose I will remove this weight, W suddenly, then what will happen? That means now the net downward force will be less than the upward force, net upward force. So the body will start moving in the upward direction. As and when we remove the weight W placed on the piston will start moving in upward direction, and it will move very fast. Suddenly you remove the weight, it will move very fast and it will strike the stop. It will go suddenly to this position. It will come. The piston will move from this position to this position suddenly. And if you want to plot this process, and at this state, suppose the gas, when the gas reaches the stops, when the piston moves towards the stops, the gas pressure suppose is P2, and this is an expansion process, so volume suppose is V2 at that point when the piston strikes the stop. So this can be a process, and described by PV diagram will be like this. So this is, according to state postulate, this is pressure and specific volume. For any the fixing of any simple compressible system, we need two independent intensive properties, and pressure and volume are two independent intensive properties. So this process can be plotted on this PV diagram. So suppose this is state 1 and this is state 2. So here the coordinate is being the P1, V1, and the coordinate here is P2, V2. But what about the intermediate states? We don't know what is these thermodynamic variables during these intermediate states. We don't know. Here we can measure the pressure, and here when the piston strikes the stops, we can find out the pressure. But what about the intermediate points? We cannot find out. So that's why the intermediate points are not state of equilibrium. Intermediate points are not equilibrium. Although the initial and final states of the process are equilibrium states, but this succession of states through which the system passes from state 1 to state 2 are not equilibrium states. So if at all you want to represent this process on PV diagram, this will be a dotted line. So a dotted line represents an irreversible process. It is not a quasi-static or reversible process, because this is a fast process. The significant feature of quasi-static process is that it should be very slow. Since the piston moves very fast due to sudden removal of this weight, so this is not a quasi-static process. Infinite slowness is the feature of quasi-static process. This is a non-quasi-static process. Only these two are equilibrium states. The initial and final states are equilibrium states, but all the intermediate states are non-equilibrium states. So that's why this is a non-quasi-static or non-quasi-equilibrium process. And how can this process be a quasi-static process? Suppose this weight, the same process can be quasi-static if this occurs like this. Suppose this weight W, it's composed of several number of small weights, and what we'll do, we'll remove these small weights one by one. Not the whole weight we will remove at a time, and we will remove these constituent small weights that together constitute the whole weight W. The small weights, the constituent small weights will be removed one by one and very slowly. Then what will happen? Then the process will take place. The system will travel. System here means gas at certain pressure and volume, and the system will slowly but slowly move from state 1 to state 2, and during all the intermediate states we can also find out what is the intermediate pressure and intermediate volume we can find out, and we can draw the process diagram. This is the process diagram. So all the states, intermediate states, are equilibrium states in this case, and this process 1 2 can be called a quasi-static or reversible or quasi-equilibrium processes. All these states are not exactly equilibrium states, but their departure from the equilibrium states is quite infinitesimal or quite negligible or quite small, you can say, because this movement is taking place but it is occurs very slowly. This piston moves very slowly because the weight that you remove, by removing certain small amount of weights, you are creating unbalance. This is mechanical unbalance. If there is no unbalance, so there cannot be any movement. So definitely there is some unbalance, but that is quite negligible. Mechanical imbalance, some small weight if you remove, but in the earlier case you are creating an imbalance in a greater way. So that's why it is not a quasi-static process, it is an irreversible process, and that cannot be represented by full line, but reversible process are the full lines. And whenever you see any full line in thermodynamics, it means it is a reversible process or quasi-static or quasi-equilibrium process. So what is the significance of quasi-static process? And quasi-static or quasi-equilibrium process are easy to analyze. Quasi-static, and what is the other significance of quasi-static process? Suppose a piston is there and certain amount of gas is there, and if you suppose we will compress the piston. Compress means we have to push the piston inwards. So if you compress, we know the pressure increases, but if you compress suddenly, on compressing the piston, there is an increase in the pressure of the inside gas. But if you compress the piston very fast, then what happens? The molecules will be piled up here at the vicinity of the piston. There will be accumulation of molecules. So gas molecules will not find sufficient time to move here and there inside the to move to other places inside the cylinder. So there will be a increase in pressure. Definitely if there is a process of compression, means there will be increase in pressure of gas, but that rate of increase should be uniform in case of a equilibrium state or quasi-static process. But in case of a non-quasi-static process, what happens? The rate of increase of pressure is non-uniform. Intensive properties are not uniform. Pressure is an intensive property, it is not uniform in this case. Here the pressure will be more if you compare that with somewhere here. So that is a non-quasi-static process, a non-quasi-equilibrium process. But if this compression had taken place slowly, then there would have been the uniform distribution of increase in pressure. Everywhere pressure would have been uniform. We know that a system is in a state of equilibrium if and only if all the intensive properties are uniform throughout the system. So this is not a quasi-static process if the distribution of pressure is not uniform. And why we are actually studying the quasi-static process? Why actually quasi-static? If we are saying that quasi-static processes are not found so much in nature, then why will we study quasi-static? Because first reason is they are simple for easy for analysis. They are easy for analysis. You can easily analyze the processes, because if had been an irreversible process, you can't find thermodynamic properties at all those states through which a process takes place. So if the process is reversible or quasi-static, all the intermediate states are equilibrium states, and we can find out thermodynamic properties or variables for those states. Then that another thing is, they are ideal processes. They are ideal for approximation. What do you mean by this? Ideal means whenever a process, expansion process, in expansion the pressure decreases, and in compression pressure increases. In expansion of gas, pressure of the gas decreases, and in compression pressure of the gas increases. But if the expansion process is a reversible process, and in expansion work is produced, and during compression you have to push the piston from outside, so that's how we have to put in some work from outside. So during the compression of gases, work is input to the system, and during the expansion of gases, some work is produced by the system. So if the expansion process is quasi-static, that means the most work is produced, maximum work is produced. And if the compression process is reversible or quasi-static, the least amount of work is consumed, which everyone wants. We want more and more work to be produced from any system, so that we can convert this into useful work. And if it is a compression process, we want that process to take as less amount of work as possible, and which is possible only if the process is quasi-static or quasi-equilibrium or reversible. So we would prefer any process to be reversible, to extract maximum work output and to consume least work input. So they are ideal for approximation. As far as the automobile engines are concerned, they are very fast engines. So for that, what we have to do? I will just describe, when I will explain what is PdV work, then I will explain what to do. What is PdV, or piston displacement work? I said that the process should be extremely slow for it to be quasi-static. So but in the case of automobile engines, the processes occur very fast. So how can we find out work? PdV or piston displacement work. So what is PdV work? It is a mechanical work. Work is force into displacement. Whenever there is some kind of displacement, means definitely some work will be there. So suppose there is certain amount of gas inside this is again the piston cylinder arrangement. Suppose the pressure is P1 and volume is V1, and this is boundary. This is a closed system, and this piston is assumed to be frictionless, and no viscous resistance is there. Suppose the piston is allowed to, this is that means the gas is at a pressure P1 and volume V1, and the system is said to exist at a state 1. We know that a system is said to exist at a state if the properties are defined for this system. So suppose this system is at state 1 with pressure suppose P1 and volume is, specific volume is V1. Suppose this piston moves to another position, suppose to this place, where this becomes the boundary. The piston moves to this place. This is here when the piston is here, suppose the system is at state 1, and here when the piston is here, piston moves. So here suppose the pressure of the gas is P2 and volume is V2. Obviously it is an expansion process, means V2 will be greater than V1, and P2 will be less than P1 because some potential work is done. To push the piston, some energy is needed. So piston moves from this place to this place means some potential energy is given to piston. So that suppose at this position, second position, the pressure is P2 and volume is suppose V2. This is a state, and suppose this process takes place very slowly, so that we can describe all the intermediate states. Whatever I explained earlier, suppose this process has taken place extremely slowly in a quasi-static manner. Then we can define all the intermediate. Suppose this is state 1, and when this piston has reached this position, suppose this is state 2 and pressure P2 and volume V2 are the variables at this state 2. But what about intermediate state? Suppose I can, this is, because it is a quasi-static process, we can define all the variables for the intermediate states. Then we can, so what is the work done we want to calculate? This is called the boundary work. Since we are moving the boundary, we are pushing the piston against the atmospheric pressure which is acting in the negative upward, suppose opposite direction. Whenever the gas is here, atmospheric pressure is acting in the downward direction. So we have to push against that atmospheric pressure. This gas is pushing the piston against this atmospheric pressure. So that's why it has to do some work. So work is done by this system. System is your gas. So in pushing the piston is the boundary. So this work is called boundary work. And WB. Suppose at an intermediate state, this is initial state and this is the final state. Piston moves up to this position. So in between, suppose the pressure is P, suppose. Intermediate state, pressure is P and volume is V. Since this is a quasi-static process, we can define all the thermodynamic variables for the intermediate states. So we want to find out the boundary work or piston displacement work. Suppose WB is equal to force into distance, and force into distance. Force is equal to pressure during this intermediate stage. Suppose the pressure is P and suppose this piston moves a small distance dx when the pressure becomes P. Suppose here at the in between, this is state 1, this is state 2, and in between, suppose this is a state at which the pressure is P and volume is V, suppose simple P and V, and by this time suppose the piston has moved distance dx. Then what will be the work done? So this is suppose del WB. Del WB means small boundary work is force into distance. Force is pressure into cross-sectional area. A is the cross-sectional area of the piston. Force is pressure into area. Pressure is force divided by area. So P into A into distance, suppose this is dx. By this time the piston has moved through a small distance dx. So P A dx, which is P dV. This is small amount of work done when the piston has moved a small distance dx, and at that instant pressure is P. So that's why in every intermediate state there will be an uniform distribution of pressure, because every state is an equilibrium state. So that means PdV is the del W. Why we are writing del W? Because work done is a path function. We cannot write dW for this. For volume, small change in volume, we can write dV. Small change in pressure, we can write dP. But for small change in work done, we can write only del W. PdV. And total work done in pushing piston from state 1 to state 2 is equal to del W का इंटेग्रल W होगा, तो ये होगा इंटेग्रल ऑफ P dV and volume changes from V1 to V2, because at the initial state volume is V1 and at the final state it is V2. So you see this is the work done, PdV, integral of PdV, and this formula can be used only if the process is quasi-static or reversible and all the intermediate states are equilibrium states. Suppose integration can only be done only when the pressure as a function of V is given to us. That means suppose this is the state 1, this is P, this is V. Suppose this is state 1, this is state 2, and the system has traveled like this. So suppose at intermediate state, this is suppose P1 and this is V1 and this is suppose V2, this is P2. Suppose at the intermediate stage, suppose this is P, this is V, then this I'll come to it why it is like this. So integration can only be done if the process path, equation of the process path or P is a function of V is given to us. Then only we can integrate PdV. Suppose we don't have any process path, equation of the process path. So how can we find out this straight line? Just by having experimental data, we can plot the straight line. What are the pressure and volume values at intermediate points, we will find out, and then we will join these points and we will find out the straight line. That is, then we will find out the straight line, and work done is integral of PdV. From calculus we know that y is equal to fx. Suppose this is y and this is x, and if y is equal to fx, suppose, then we know that, and area under this represents the fx dx x1 x2 limit, integration limit, is equal to area under curve fx projected on x axis. Similarly, हमें ये मिला WB total work done when the system has traveled from state 1 to state 2. Here state 1 to state 2 is integral of PdV. That means area under the PV diagram. So what we found out that magnitude of work is given by area under PV diagram. Area under PV diagram represents magnitude of work. Area cannot be negative. That does not mean that work cannot be negative. So area under PV diagram represents only the magnitude is equal to वर्क डन का मैग्नीट्यूड है. सो मैग्नीट्यूड हमेशा पॉजिटिव आएगा क्योंकि एरिया हमेशा पॉजिटिव आएगा. तो मैग्नीट्यूड तो कभी नेगेटिव हो नहीं सकता है. लेकिन जब वर्क डन इज पॉजिटिव, PdV का इंटेग्रल है, बट प्रेशर इन दिस केस इज एब्सोल्यूट प्रेशर क्योंकि एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर से ज़्यादा है. अगर ये ज़्यादा नहीं होता तो पुश कैसे करता, तो इट पुशेस पिस्टन अगेंस्ट एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर. सो PdV, इंटेग्रल ऑफ PdV. So pressure is always positive. So if dV is positive, total amount of work done will be positive, and if dV is negative, the work done is negative. So dV positive कैसे हो रहा है, यहाँ से V1 से V2 तक जा रहा है. System moves from state 1 to state 2, expansion takes place. So whenever the process is in clockwise direction, there is an expansion process. If the process had occurred like this, that means here suppose this is 1, this is 2. So V2 is less than V1, dV is negative. That means in that case this is a compression process and the work would have been negative. So pressure is always positive, and the magnitude of work done will depend upon the dV, the sign of work done. Magnitude will be able to find out from the area, but sign, as far as the sign is concerned, sign we can find out from the dV. If dV is positive, that will be a positive work done or work done by the system, and if dV is negative, the work done will be on the system, and that will be for compression process. And it can also be find out if the curve is in the clockwise direction. Suppose like this is the PV diagram, and process is like this is an expansion. And if the process is like this, then this is a compression process, and work done will be on the system, and it will be having negative sign. And from the area under the curve we will be able to find out the magnitude of work done.